You're looking at a strip of water that's one of the world's most critical lifelines, and, at the same time, one of its most volatile time bombs. So, which is it? Let's dig in and find out.
And yeah, that description, it just hits the nail on the head. We're not just talking about water here. It's a global fault line. Think about that. It's a place where warships, radar, satellites, they're all in this constant dance, testing global stability, all focused on this one tiny passage.
Okay, so why does it matter so much? Well, get this. A full 21% of all the oil the entire world uses, it flows right through here. That's something like 20 million barrels every single day. And here's the kicker. More than 70% of that oil, it's all heading to Asia. So for countries like China, Japan, and India, this isn't just a news story. It's a massive national security issue.
So, how did one little spot on the map get this much power? Well, the answer, as it so often is, comes down to geography. Let's really break this down.
At its absolute narrowest point, we're talking between Iran's Larak Island and Oman's Musandam Peninsula, the whole strait is only 33 kilometers wide. That's about 21 miles. Now, that already sounds pretty tight for the amount of traffic going through, right? Well, hold on, because that's not even the real story. The actual space those giant supertankers have to navigate, it's way, way smaller. We are talking about a shipping lane that's just 3 kilometers wide in each direction. 3 kilometers. That's it.
And that's where the strategy comes in. This crazy compression forces all of that incredibly valuable cargo into these predictable single-file lines. They have no choice. They can't just go off course. And what does that mean? It means watching them is super easy. It turns this whole stretch of water into a massive point of leverage for anyone who controls the coastline.
And you better believe both sides have built what you could call an architecture of pressure around this very geography. You've got Iran, which has perfected tactics for this specific place. Fast attack boats made to just swarm big ships, backed up by coastal missiles that can hit anything in the strait. Then, on the other side, you have Oman and its allies. They're running a high-tech radar station from the top of a mountain, Jebel Harem, coordinating patrols and escorts to keep things moving safely. It's a non-stop, 24/7 game of strategic chess.
Wow. That quote really brings it home, doesn't it? It takes all that military strategy stuff and makes it personal, visceral even. Just try to imagine it for a second. You're on the bridge of a tanker, and you just know you're being watched, tracked, maybe even targeted from both sides. Talk about a feeling of being completely exposed.
So, okay, that's the story we all hear on the news, right? The tension, the warships, the risk to the global economy. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close. It's time to go beyond the headlines.
And you really have to ask yourself, when a place is just completely defined by conflict, day in and day out on the news, can there possibly be anything else to it? I mean, is it even possible for normal life, let alone something like beauty, to survive in the shadow of a global time bomb? Well, the answer, from the people who actually live there and know it best, is a huge yes. And that simple idea, that's our bridge to a totally different side of this place.
Because underneath all those radar signals and naval patrols, there's a whole other world, one of deep, deep history, astonishing geology, a world literally of color and time.
And listen, this isn't just me being poetic. This is officially recognized stuff. We're talking about UNESCO World Heritage Sites. On Keshm Island, you'll find the Middle East's first ever global geopark. And the incredible ancient skill of building traditional lenge boats, that's protected as a living piece of human heritage.
All right, let's zoom in on Hormuz Island for a second. This is a place where it honestly feels like the planet decided to become an artist. Seriously, the forces deep inside the Earth have pushed up a landscape that is, well, it's a masterpiece.
So you see this famous Rainbow Valley? Those colors aren't just random splotches. They're actually painted with minerals. That deep red you see, that's from iron oxide. Yep, the same stuff that makes Mars the red planet. The bright golds and oranges, that's sulfur. And those dark streaks, like brushstrokes, that's ancient volcanic rock. It's geology as art.
And hey, if you think the surface is amazing, just wait till you see what's underneath. There are these huge domes of salt that have been pushed up from deep underground over thousands of years. Water has carved them out into these unbelievable salt caves. When you go inside, the walls just glitter with crystals. It's like stepping into some kind of luminous, otherworldly maze.
Now let's jump across the strait to the Omani side. The scenery here is just as dramatic, but totally different.
You've got these rugged mountains that don't just stop at the water's edge, they dive right into the sea. And they create these beautiful, calm inlets that people call the Arabian fjords. It's this incredible meeting point where the tough desert landscape meets the peaceful ocean.
And hidden away in these fjords is a village called Kumza, and it's a real living treasure. I mean, it is so remote, the only way to get there is by boat. The people who live there speak a language, Kumzari, that you'll basically never hear anywhere else on the planet. Their whole way of life is just woven from this ancient bond with the sea on one side and the mountains on the other.
So there you have it. You've got two completely different realities happening in the exact same place. You have the time bomb and you have the treasure. And that is the paradox of the Strait of Hormuz. So on the one hand, you've got the reality you see in the headlines. It's a trigger point. It's an architecture of pressure. It's a global fault line. But literally right next door, you've got this hidden reality. UNESCO heritage, a geological masterpiece, and these incredibly resilient communities that have been there for centuries.
And I think that's the main takeaway here. Hormuz isn't one or the other. It's both at the same time. It's a place where incredible danger and just profound beauty exist side by side. It shows that even in one of the most tense spots on the globe, nature and culture just keep on doing their thing.
And that really leaves us with one last thought, doesn't it? The story of Hormuz is such a powerful reminder to always try and look past the headlines. You know, in a world that's so full of these geopolitical fault lines, it just makes you wonder, where else are we missing the real story? What other hidden beauty is out there waiting to be found right alongside the danger we see on the news every single day?